Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to the 23rd episode of the Ramadan series, The Daily Revival, presented by Serving Islam team and your brother Isa Ma. We all have valuables that need taken care of. In fact, this has become a legitimate business opportunity. Safe stores are opening up across the world, and since they are entrusted with people's valuables, they charge quite a bit. However, the peace of mind that comes with their service makes the fee worthwhile. Some valuables in life, however, are too precious and cannot be protected by safe stores. Your deen is one of them, as are your children, spouse, loved ones, and the list continues. Imagine if it's actually possible to entrust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to preserve them for you. Can you imagine your peace of mind if the one whom you've entrusted is none other than Al-Hafeedh, the all-preserver? Well, there is a way to do so. Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, the companion of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, once bade farewell to a friend of his and said to him, سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول قال لقمان الحكيم إن الله إذا استودع شيئا حفظه وإني أستودع الله دينك وأمانتك وخواتم عملك وأقرأ عليك السلام. He said, I heard the Prophet ﷺ say, Luqman the wise said, if Allah is entrusted with something, He preserves it. And so I entrust Allah to preserve your deen, your amana, whatever you're responsible, and your final deeds. It is advisable to mention these words to someone who is traveling, for committing of sins and carelessness towards obligations are usually far easier during travel than they are whilst at home. You'll be pleased to know, however, that this dua isn't limited to those who are traveling. You can actually entrust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to preserve anything that you value and fear for. And on that note, contemplate this breathtaking story. This story is recorded by Ibn Abi Dunya. He said, once Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu saw a father and his son and was amazed by their resemblance. They look very much alike. The man said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, O leader of the believers, by Allah, his mother gave birth to him whilst she was dead. At once Umar sat upright and said to him, tell me what happened. This is a fascinating story. Tell me the details. The man said, I was once preparing for travel during his mother's pregnancy. She said to me, how could you leave me all alone in this state of mind? And so I said, I entrust Allah to protect what is in your womb. Upon my return from travel, I arrived at my house and called for her, but was told that she had passed away. I made my way to her grave as I cried. Later that evening, I was sat with a cousin of mine, and the graveyard was in front of us. When I saw what seemed to be fire on her grave, I was startled and asked my cousin about this, and he said, we have been seeing this on her grave since the day she died. I said, by Allah, she was a righteous and chaste woman, Muslim woman, fasting and praying all of the time. I carried my axe and rushed towards her grave. When I arrived, I noticed that her grave was wide open. I looked down and saw that her corpse was in an upright sitting position, whilst my son was moving next to her. And then heard a sound from the sky proclaiming, أيها المستودع ربه وديعته خذ وديعتك. O you who had entrusted his Lord with his valuable, take your valuable. And so I knelt down and took my son, and so here he is, O leader of the believers. One cannot doubt that had he entrusted Allah to protect his wife as well, the outcome could have been different. But it was a matter that had to happen. Everything happens according to the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So never mind safe stores and their likes. Allah is where your valuables are to be preserved. And so memorize these words and offer them to those whom you worry over. If you find it difficult to memorize the Arabic phrases, you can say the meaning of it in whatever language that you're proficient in. You can say to whomever you want Allah to preserve that I entrust Allah to preserve your deen, your responsibility, and the seal of all your actions. جزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.